guys, it's Finn. I am now 7 months post top surgery with Mr. Andrew Yelland in Brighton. I just thought I'd give you a catch up this month about how things are going. So this is my chest at now 7 months. I really, as I keep saying, couldn't be happier. And if you've watched my recent 14-15 months on tea at Glastonbury video, you'll know how grateful I am. I've just spent the whole time just gushing with gratitude about the chest I have. I love it. I am just really so happy. I can't believe how quickly this can heal, really. You know, thinking about where I was 7 months ago, it's just beautiful. I just think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's starting to dull down now. The redness and the purpleness is really going, and it's actually starting to go white in places. If I come over, you can see that it is really starting to get less purpley red and much whiter in places. I'm really pleased. And the nipples are settling down as well. There is still a little bit of pain in the nipples. Not pain, just uncomfortability, but as I've said before, I don't really mind that because it shows I have sensation. I actually have a lot of sensation in the chest and in the nipples, so I've been quite lucky with that. And I'm just hoping as my hormone levels calm down, which is what Ginny possibly thinks might have caused the uncomfortability in the nipples, that it'll all settle. But I'm not concerned. It's just a little bit of tenderness more than anything. But it's absolutely fine. I have full range of movement now. I think last time I spoke about the fact that I'd started weights and was being quite careful with things that are over the head, like doing tricep stuff, because although it didn't hurt, I was kind of quite paranoid about the stretching and what have you, but I've built it up gradually and it feels fine. And as other people have said to me as well, reminded me of this, that it is actually good to stretch the scars. It's all about balance, but when you leave the hospital after having the procedure with Mr. Yelland, Ginny does give you a list of exercises to do, of stretches to do, because it's good for both keeping you mobile, because otherwise you can have problems with joints seizing up, but also it's very important for the scar to be mobile, because the way a scar heals isn't just on the surface, but it heals like in layers underneath as well. So if you're not keeping it mobile, the danger is it can adhere to the skin underneath, which can then cause kind of bumpiness and raisedness and what have you. So within reason and with carefulness, movement is good for scars. Just keep them uber moisturised. What I do before I'm doing weights is I moisturise before weights, and then after weights I always have a shower anyway, and then moisturise afterwards, so the scars don't get dry, and when they're moving they are supple. That's the way I do it, and I've had no problem. I think because I'm doing the weight slowly, nothing's going to stretch massively, so that's fine. So that's all going well, really. There's not really that much to say this month. I'm going to talk quickly about having surgery with Will. I went down to help him when he had his top surgery, and it was such an amazing experience to go through the procedure the other side and kind of be back at the hospital and talk to Mr. Yelland and talk to Ginny, and just like express the gratitude that I wanted to express for what they'd given me, and just to watch Will going through it as well kind of renewed my own gratitude again, just to see the birth of a chest in somebody else was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And also I wanted to mention something that became apparent when I was with Will that I'd kind of just not really thought about, and that is that these scars don't bother me at all. And I think as trans guys, you know, we're so used to seeing each other's scars that they don't really take us aback. But Will's friend picked us up from hospital, and Will asked me if I'd mind showing her my scars. So I flashed my chest, and she looked really taken aback at the extent of the scarring, I suppose. And it was the first time I realised that it is really quite extreme, because to me it isn't. I mean, I don't look at my chest and see scars. I look at my chest and see something beautiful, and I think that Mr. Yelland's work is up there, if not better than the top, which is Garamoni. I think, those two surgeons, Garamoni and Mr. Yelland, are the best top surgeons out there. And I really would argue that Mr. Yelland is probably outdoing Garamoni now. So in terms of scars that I see in most kind of trans guys see, these are is kind of the better end of the spectrum. So yeah, to watch somebody that's not trans and doesn't know the trans world to react to the chest was quite strange, and it kind of brought it home that, you know, I am going to be looked at for a while. But it just shows you, doesn't it, what perspective does, because I don't see scars, I just see this beautiful chest that's been birthed. So, yeah. One thing I wanted to mention this week that I thought people might find helpful is that you're told not to get your scars in the sun for at least a year after surgery, because you can really mess them up, increase the chances of keloid and of them not whitening and what have you. And with me and Nat going to Glastonbury, I wanted to make sure that I was protected, because even under a t-shirt, you're still going to get UV rays. So I was looking online for a total sunblock, because I've looked around at the chemist and I can find like a factor 50 and what have you, but I wanted a total sunblock, and I'd seen kind of like surfers and skiers and what have you wearing that kind of like coloured sunblock. So I had a look for that and I found some. Yeah, I found this stuff, Zinca. Now I went online and I thought, well, it's really cool because I can get this stuff and it's coloured, and I'm going to Glastonbury and I always stick like some face paint and that on anyway, so I can get the really cool colour and just kind of do like bright green war paint on my chest. It's absolutely fine. But when I was online, I found that Zinca not only do neon green, neon pink, neon blue, blah blah, but they also do a flesh coloured one. And it does an amazing job of actually hiding the scars. Now, I'm not bothered, but having the option of this, so people don't double take, because people were double taking, is great. It is a complete sunblock, complete UV block. So whenever I've been going out, I've been putting high factor sun cream on and then putting this on top anyway. You shouldn't be sunbathing, it will wreck your scars. But as I say, even under a t-shirt, the sun gets in. And I wanted to be able to kind of like at times just take my top off when I was walking about. So I got this stuff. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on, just to demonstrate. Okay, so this is the stuff, and it's this colour. It's flesh colour. So let me just apply this so you can see what it looks like when it goes on. Now, it's important to remember that this is not sold as a scar concealer. It's just a beautiful bonus of the stuff. They obviously brought it out as an alternative to the mad colours they already use, but then didn't realise that what they would be doing is effectively creating something useful for us trans guys. Now, other people have pointed out, wouldn't it be great if they did it in other flesh colours? Let's remember this wasn't marketed as a concealer, but maybe if enough of us buy it, we could get them to do it in light flesh, dark flesh, beige, whatever. Because, as you can see, I've only put a thin layer on. I'm going to put a bit more on. That it's not perfectly hiding stuff, but it does take the edge off it, so that when you're wandering around with your top off, people aren't automatically kind of like double taking at your chest. You see that? Is that coming up? Okay, can you see that? Yes, I think you can. So yeah, I'll say that again. It is not a probably looks good. See, from the distance you can see the people just walking past you. You know, that is dulled down a bit. So yes, it's not sold as a way to hide scars. It's just a beautiful bonus, and it really does protect. Glastonbury was full of mud, wind, rain, all of the above, rucksack on and off, and it stayed put. You know, you can see when you need to reapply it because the scar appears. So it was really helpful for me to kind of keep putting it on. Now I will say I was never lying and sunbathing in the sun. I'm very careful about my scars. It was just nice to have the opportunity to have my top off when I was walking around every now and again, and also the peace of mind to know that with my top on, with this on, I was still protected from UV rays. So Zinca, I'll put a link to the bottom. So it's called Zinca Nose Coat, and if you feel quite proud and want to go around in bright colours, they do all sorts imaginable. I've got some neon green, which is really cool, But if you are a bit conscious of being in public with your scars out, this will, as you can see, kind of dull it down a little bit, just to stop people doing that they can do. So yeah, hope that's helpful. That's me at 7 months. Happy as Larry. If you really want to see how happy I am, check out my last video. Yeah, that's it really. I was going to do a picture of last month's chest and this month's chest, but I broke my camera, so I can't do that. But last month's top surgery, I did a montage up to 6 months, and if you want to see the chest progression, if you haven't already seen, you can find it there. Okay, I'm waffling now. I shall leave it there, and I shall see you next month. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.